Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel here on Twitch. I am Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And of course, with me, person I could not do this show without is also known as Positive Fandom here on Twitch. How are you doing, my dear?
I am very well, Lorena. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So excited. So excited because, of course, all these episodes hang on a cliffhanger. So I'm excited to be back here with you talking this episode of Reacher. We're now up to, is it episode 7? So it's 7,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Absolutely. So just to first of all, kind of catch you guys up, kind of while you're all filtering in here over on Twitch. So again, please do follow myself. Please do follow over here. So to basically recap last week's episode that we reviewed, episode 6, I'm still the end of that was just not
Yeah,
what you would actually expect an episode to end. Have you seen anything like that before?
I've never seen anything like it, and I can say that every week, every episode, they certainly do keep our attention. This last episode called Papier or Paper
Mm-hmm.
um, really was kind of like the breakthrough episode because it opened our eyes to what was actually going on. And, it was such a relief to have Reacher be able to reach out to that professor and say, if you want to live, do exactly as I say. And it was like, thank God, thank goodness she's not going to end up dead like a lot of the other characters in the show. And,
Mm-hmm.
there really was such an extreme danger here that he even had to ask someone in the precinct who he knew had former military service
Mm-hmm.
to please look after this woman, make sure she doesn't leave, make sure that she is here and doesn't leave until I speak to you directly. And I remember, I think he said, yes, yes, sir. Did he say yes, sir? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he
Like that.
did. I think he
He
said,
responded
"Yes, sir." Just like
like it was
literally like they were still, you know, in the military. So I thought that was cool. I thought
I
that was cool.
I loved it. And he could just tell by looking at the way that he wore his uniform, which I've heard from other people say that you can always tell someone who is in former military because they have so much pride in everything they do, especially when they wear a uniform. And we could see
Mhm.
that here with that officer in the precinct. He actually looked at a lot of officers and he noticed that his shoes were perfectly shined. And that, like I don't even know the details, but the length of his shirt was a
So like
certain length.
exactly, where his like cuffs, like everything was like sharp from, from like head to toe. Cause that's a thing. In the military, you have to be ready for inspection, like at a moment's notice. So I just thought that that was I thought it was cool how the camera noted that, but also to kind of remind people just how many of our law enforcement officers have come directly out of the military. So I can't believe it took me a week to actually put that together. But that was very interesting, kind of like to show people, hey, this is where some of them, end up, and they take just as, not that they don't all take pride in their jobs, but there seems to be a special sense when someone comes from the military into law enforcement. So I thought that was a really nice touch, to add, to kind of give yet another nod, to our men and women who were still in a different uniform, but
Yes.
that background, that now they're in the civilian world. So I thought that was an excellent nod.
I agree. And it certainly stood out. And, of course, the scene that you're referring to, Lorena, the really just such an astounding scene where Reacher is chased by one of these assassins involved in this.
That that was I almost want to say it was like how you would see in other like police movies where somebody comes out, they know that they're being watched, but I didn't expect for it to take off that that fast, and the action get ratcheted up that fast, and then the hand-to-hand combat and like the close quarters, and the fact that Reacher just grabs like anything, to defend himself against this guy who obviously is not some garden variety thug, you know, that he's pretty much a threat, which is what I would say like 90% of the threats to him have been people with training. I mean, KJ and his stupid friends, they were kind of like for fun, it's probably why I like the fact that he slapped him instead of like punched him and that one episode. But just that combat on like one of those not a catwalk, but like the landings,
Fire
with the
escape.
yeah, exactly, like on a fire escape, how dangerous, you know, that is, and just how he immobilized the guy, and literally by the end of the episode, he's basically, hung the guy with his necktie, with his own weight, and it's like, and, after that, he just walks away like, "I'm done. I won. Next thing."
I've never seen that before.
No. No, I never have, and it was great. I didn't think it's like things escalated so quickly. We're like waiting for the next thing, and it's the end of the episode.
It really happened so suddenly, and but Reacher was ready for this. He knew, I guess, by this point that this was, pretty much one of the most dangerous missions, I guess, he's been on, let's say, on US soil, so to speak. And he had to find some way to deal with this, and he dealt with it.
Yeah, he really did. He really did, and we were not let down to how he dealt with that at all. But to also kind of bring it back to the name of the episode, which I can't believe it finally hit me. Like the episode, of course, the title is papier, which is French for paper. But the big thing that we found out in this episode was that the paper that these counterfeit bills are being produced on is being done in Georgia.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming from miles away. And of course, neither did Reacher and the team, who had always assumed that what was going on was that there was some sort of manufacturing process of bills, I guess, outside, or part of it had been outside, and then they had to deliver it again. Or to be honest with you, I wasn't fully aware of the process that they had worked out, but
Mhm.
to hear that professor say that it's, and you mentioned this, you said that it's actually like cloth.
Mhm.
And that, essentially, I think he had said something about, or he figured it out, you put a dollar bill in your pocket, it's left in your pocket, and you come back and the dollar bill's fine, like it dries out, it's completely
Mhm.
fine. But then I think he figured it out, in regards to what was going on. And she even mentioned it. The key was that the United States is the only country, or one of the few countries, where all the denominations are on the same size paper.
Mhm. Yep. And that
Yeah.
hit me when I remembered some other places where I've been where like the pound, 1 pound note's different from like say the 5 pound or the 20 pound
Yeah, this is
or
getting big here.
yeah. I'm like big and lots of colors. I'm like, come on now, which is it the blue one? Is it the green?
And I was like,
Green
why
one?
are there so many colors? And obviously the reason is because it makes it more difficult to counterfeit.
Mhm.
But since the United States, money, $100 bill is the same size as a $1 bill, and they were using dollar bills from before, I guess, what was it, 1980 or some particular
I
date.
think something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty clever, pretty damn clever. I didn't even know anybody could do that. And it was very interesting. And you and I talked about this, how we've been to different countries, and you can take an American bill and they'll take it. They'll take it
Oh
as
yeah.
currency. they're
They
fine with it. And I'm like, oh, I didn't, go to currency exchange. I don't think they're going to take my money. But I remember being in a foreign country and saying, I have a $20 American. They're like, yeah, yeah, fine. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I felt great because I could buy something that I wanted. But then,
Mhm.
that professor made a very good point about the idea that, there are a lot of people depending on the American dollar as part of like a global currency, a global
Exactly.
currency.
Even more so than, like, say, their, like, their local money. They're like, "Oh,
Right.
yeah, we'll take American dollars." I'm like, "Okay, and no exchange fee. All right." I kinda
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
that. Well, folks, we are going to be watching episode 7, which is Reacher Said Nothing.
Mm.
Interesting. I blame you 2 for getting me sucked into a show. First time that's happened in a while. Well, you are very welcome. Thanks for being here. Arthur
Yes.
Potato Hammer is here, says,
Hey.
"Hey, good to see you." And I see Darth Megatron 69.
I love
I love
it.
Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's a funny ass cartoon. Okay, now we see the Tyvek guys, the guys in the
Yes.
Tyvek suits going into the house. So we're about at a minute 35. So he's basically talking to his wife where he suspects there's something going on.
Right.
And, they're talking about, the baby that they're expecting. And she was like, "Should we tell people?" And he's like, "I don't know. Maybe we should, wait a little bit before we tell people."
Ah,
And it's a very touching scene. Like, it is like, should I tell people or not? And then you see you know, the cleaner squad coming in.
I feel terrible for hearing her talk about that baby and knowing what happened to them, and he had to watch her suffer that way. It was just absolutely diabolical.
It was like something out of, I want to say something out of the movie Seven
Mhm.
when I saw that. It's just crazy. So here's now when they're kids and his mom talks to him. They don't want to go to Germany,
No. Of course not.
but I love this speech that she makes to them. She's like, "You'll understand this when you're older.
Mhm.
Joe, you don't need to solve all the world's problems. Research the strength of 3 boys. What will you do with it?" He's like, "What? I don't know." And she says, "You're going to do what's right."
Aw,
I
sweet.
love that scene.
They're pretty big for their age, honestly. They're like the size the height of a man already. I don't know how old they are, but they're kind of big kids.
I know. It's just like, where do you feed these kids?
Yeah.
6 of you folks in here watching from Twitch. Thank you so, so very much. We are watching episode 7 of Reacher. If you have Amazon Prime, you will be able to watch right along with us. It's just a matter of fact. There's some blood on it. Some of it was mine. That's what you do. You have to check. You have to check. Assume every gun is loaded. That's right. Unless you didn't.
Mhm. Yeah, I think what he's alluding to is that this operation goes very, very high up.
Yes. Because something that confidential, like how it's locked down like that, and then all of a sudden it gets out, somebody snitched.
Yeah.
Somebody snitched. I know Darth Megatron, right? He says, "Tell that to Alec Baldwin." Yeah. Mm. Ugh, he was not taught right. You always assume that thing's loaded.
Oh, is this whose funeral is this?
I think this is Kleiner's funeral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got the picture. just the looks everybody is giving him.
Well, the looks, I guess, are saying stuff like nobody was supposed to die, and like what's going on. Everybody's terrified.
Hmm.
This is like the most terrifying funeral ever because I guess everybody's thinking that could be me next.
Also considering the way that he died, and it's not, you know, with somebody
There,
who's that rich with that much money, if they get, if they get whacked, what can happen? What can happen to me? Am I
Mhm.
next?
Someone was nailed to the wall. These guys have had their throats cut open like a butterfly.
Hmm.
All sorts of,
Violence they've never seen before.
yeah. Oh, come on. Why on earth would he come on? This is so stupid. I'm
And it
sorry.
and it makes no sense, but it makes you wonder why of all people is he suspecting this guy when Finley wasn't even there? So it makes you wonder, is he trying to make a scene just to make one?
Good. Ha! Ha! I'm sorry.
You ain't my daddy. It's Colonel Sanders. I
He called
just
him son, so that's it.
hmm Yeah,
Well, he probably is
that's
old enough to be his dad, but it's still funny. Like,
that is a very insulting thing to say. Well, it makes you feel really small. Oh my gosh. That minivan.
well, I have to say he gets along very well with Reacher now. There's definitely like understanding between the two of them, and it's great to see how they kind of amuse each other.
Mhm. Because it went from kind of like this antagonistic relationship to more symbiotic,
Hmm.
protective. Like, all right.
Wow. Suit
Thanks,
yourself.
Dale. Go get it. Yeah, bye. He thought about it too. That's what makes it funny. You see him, I'm like, maybe that might be a good idea. Kitty litter.
Now, I
Use it
didn't know that you could do that with kitty litter.
to absorb oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, absorb oil. I know back when I used to live in Philly, that was kind of like if you didn't have anything to melt the ice, you use kitty
Oh,
litter. Yeah,
oh, that's good to know too.
this I swear they pulled it like out of the movie Seven with the way the scene is staged, and it's just
And the
gruesome.
mirrors and her fingers and so this isn't the same couple we saw earlier that was murdered. This is another police person who was murdered.
Yes.
Wow,
So
that
one
whole
of the earlier scenes when they were bringing Reacher in, and I think they were saying, don't talk to him. And he kind of didn't seem like he was with the program or not. You couldn't quite tell. He didn't seem like he was in on it. This is him.
oh,
This is
okay.
Stevenson.
Oh, her fingernails. Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, that poor
It's
woman.
horrible.
And she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
no.
Yeah, 3.
Oh,
God, that just
oh
killed me. That's
God.
true dead man walking. It is.
It just ruined a whole family. I mean, they were so happy, right? They were happy that night.
They
Talking
were they
about,
were happy, and they were kind of like looking forward to,
yeah.
Very, very typical. It's like looking forward to, what they were going to do, what they were planning, and even more exciting about what we want to tell people, about this, about the baby. But oh God,
Crooked as scoliosis.
he probably didn't even know what that was.
Pack your shit to the box to the left. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so, Mr. Whatever he
Mm-mm.
was before.
It's like he's over the top with it. And it doesn't seem protective. It seems like it's for
It's
show.
it's nuts. Yeah, it is very phony. It is very phony. But I'm sure the people in this community are terrified.
Yeah, because I think it's like what, like 1,000 people population, very, very small. So when you have bodies dropping like this, it's nothing they've never seen before. And yeah, everybody is just scared,
And it's the whole police force now, right? Like except for Roscoe.
except for
Her
Roscoe.
the man who looked after her,
Hmm.
the the chief of police,
Hmm.
the other guy, now this guy. Who else is left?
This one, and I think it's him, another person. You don't seem upset.
Yeah, he seems quite cool and
Yeah,
calm for the fact that the whole like department's been killed.
yeah. Not like I'm gonna go out and find this. It's like you would think that would convince you, but it doesn't convince me. Just Paul Blart. That's all we got left. He's not gonna get that peach pie, is he?
That's cold. That's cold. What about some hospitality? Please, come on, surrender the pie. Oh
Dang.
dear. She's so sweet about it too.
He bought the last one. Sorry. He seemed a little too happy about that compliment.
It's very interesting because we have these characters that do kind of like seem on the fence and you can't really figure them out, especially in this
Mhm.
department.
I
Ooh.
mean, I didn't really know until Stevenson died and his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Really.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, come
And
on.
this is how I felt like he was playing this guy, because just from seeing how Finley and Reacher had begun time working together, I was just like, no,
Oh, I
he
get
didn't.
it.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like, is he? I'm like, oh, okay, okay, I see where it's going. He is playing to his ego. Oh my god. Why you gonna tell a cop you gonna do some B&E unless it's a trap?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a trap. This is total trap.
Yeah, you don't tell a cop you're gonna commit some breaking and entering.
But he's watching him eat that peach pie, though.
Oh yeah. I feel so bad. I hope he gets some of that peach pie before this episode is over. 5 of you folks watching us here on Twitch. Thank you
Yes.
so very, very, very much. We're having a great time watching episode 7 of Reacher here,
Absolutely.
saying Reacher said nothing. And right now he just played one of those cops like a violin.
Now he's gearing up, I guess. Like he's
Yes.
got some tactical gear.
Mhm. He said, "Am I hunting deer?" I see you, Darth Megatron. Yeah, I like that New York T-shirt too. I did
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, you're
This is the
right.
first
Dead
time
man looking at Will.
this is the first time we've actually seen him kind of get stuff that wasn't a t-shirt and jeans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
T-shirt, jeans, combing through the thrift store, going through the charity bin. He was very tactical.
so he did mention that he was going to be going to this house and he's
Mm-hmm.
expecting someone to pay him a visit.
Mm-hmm.
I find that completely terrifying. I would never set myself up knowing that someone. So he's got to turn the TV on. He's got to turn all the lights on. The dishwasher. I agree. He really did rock that suit impersonating a lawyer. He looked like a lawyer for the stars. Former
Mm-hmm.
linebacker turned lawyer or something like
It
that.
was a hot looking outfit. I know
Yeah.
that. Whew, it's a nice suit.
Mhm.
Nice suit.
All right, so
Yeah,
he's
he's
gearing up. This reminds me, Lorena, when you're watching Call of Duty, and there's a part where the people actually get everything ready, and you don't do it. It's just like a vignette in the game.
yeah, they get all
Kind of
kitted
scary.
up and
Yeah.
everything. I love it. It's like, okay, what's going down? Okay, where's Finley
Yeah, like
going?
what's going on at this place?
Mm. Oh, yeah, he has to tell his couple that their son's dead. Remember they came looking for and they found out it was a junior and they didn't want to tell
No.
them when they came the first time.
Oh no. I feel
And
terrible
Finley
for
was,
them.
he's like, look, I need to tell them. Hmm. Oh, wait, no, this was the Stevensons.
Oh, okay.
I got them confused there for a minute.
Mhm. He did work with him. I mean,
Hmm.
mm. All right, here they are.
Let's see. So you have he's stuck in a car. It's okay, you
Oh,
guys stay in the car.
Damn, he got a shotgun at the ready, 2 pistols or handguns, whatever they're called. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
guys. One guy sculping out first.
Yep.
And they're, oh, look at him. It's like jungle warfare, right? He's hiding in
Yep.
the shrubbery.
Got, camouflage makeup on.
Oh, who's leading them?
That is KJ. One of them.
Isn't it?
No, it's the other doofus.
Who is
Not
that?
KJ's brother. It's like, which
So,
doofus is it? I gotta look and see which.
but he got his hands dirty for sure. I mean, he's definitely up to something.
I don't know, Dad, man. I think they're just getting sloppy.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. Take
Yeah,
the one out in the car because you don't want him hitting the horn.
that's right.
Warn you that
Damn,
just
I
because
love these.
that's the lookout. You got to take the lookout out.
I
I
love
like
these
that.
slaps. I'm sorry, guys. I know, but I just love when he like slaps
Textbook.
the crap out. Bam! Love it so much.
I know. It's like
Somebody said, "Ow, that hurt."
Yeah, it did. It was meant to.
That bump is not going away.
No coming back from that.
See, but the way that this kid leads the group makes me think that he was trained too, like in this kind of assassination techniques.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
Why
thinking.
would he be trained in assassination techniques? Like, it's weird, right?
Weird, but if he was trained by, like, say, a private contractor, it's not unheard of. So you can hire like a private contractor to like teach you stuff like that. So I've heard. And so on Narcos, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So for folks probably watching the replay here, we are at timestamp 22 minutes and 41 seconds. So the guys with the white suits are going into Hubble's house. Reacher's waiting for him. See, this is Lookout. Oh man, something's going on. You go out there and see what he wants. Man, we've seen this before.
Never ends well.
No, this is why you take the Lookout out first. Then he sees the body. And then now it's your turn. Night night.
Crack. Put him in the back of the payload. Put him in the payload.
2 down.
That's right.
I think Reacher's body count is up to 10 by now. I think. About 10.
Now he must know something's wrong at this point. This guy with the shotgun. He must know.
Oh yeah, he's taking too long at the car. What's up? How you doing?
Ooh, ouch! Oh,
ow! Damn. I guess cutting his throat would have been too messy. Yeah. Yeah, it probably would have been too messy. It's like, I don't have time for that.
No.
Like, okay, where are these? Okay, and yeah, because you can see the marks and it's leaving footprints, boot marks. So they're like, okay, not one of our guys.
Crack. Oh, ouch.
Oh,
Damn.
ow.
Oh,
that's 11. There you go. See that? They start shooting you, put the body in front of you.
Oh.
Well, this is kind of clumsy.
Wow.
Wow.
Get that damn crowbar from him, somebody. Please.
I know.
Wow.
And here we go, out the door.
Oh my God.
Ain't fighting in the rain. Up there goes the Desert Eagle. It was nice knowing you. Oh, that's not good.
No.
That is
Ugh.
okay. I didn't expect for Reacher to go down like that.
No, this isn't looking good.
Which makes you wonder how much training has this guy had?
He thinks that he is going to be able to keep Reacher submerged.
Yes, that's what he thinks.
Oh, ooh, ooh, good Lord.
Not very smart.
No.
Because if he was really smart and he had Reacher down there, he would have took the gun with him and double tapped him in the head. But he's not
Yeah.
smart enough to do that.
Yeah, these pool scenes are fantastic.
It's like Steve Receivers like his the boots don't make any. Yep, there you go. Yeah, see that's what happens. That's what happens when you're stupid.
They didn't stand a chance.
No, no.
I hope some of the clothes he had some kind of padding or something because that crowbar looked kind of painful.
Yeah, I think he's got like several bruised ribs by now, if not one or two. They're kind of cracked. All right, let's see. How many bodies we clean up? Four. So I think Reacher's body count is up to 12 by now. Those of you who have been watching along and paying attention. Yeah, Dad, man. I wanted to talk about that. That kind of threw me off a little bit too.
Hmm. Jesus, those pants.
I
They're
know,
just
right?
they're very low.
Very.
Hello, hello. Well, we got to get clean,
That
just
is the most
fully clean.
expensive shower I have ever. I mean, I love what it looks like.
Hmm.
Yes, I know. We have to look at abs. I love abs. They're so nice.
I need to get a new butt.
Crack it.
Oh goodness.
Oh, he washed that
So does that mean that it's a piece of paper? It's one of the pieces. Interesting.
because if that was straight up paper, it you know how you wash paper,
Disintegrate. Yeah, it gets
exactly.
hard and then like crunchy and yeah, I
Not
know it was
good.
strategically placed towel rack. Honestly, I think we were grown up enough to see the real thing, but it's okay.
Yeah, we can fill in the blank.
Mhm. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Diatomaceous earth.
Animal feed. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But it's the kind of operation where the people who are doing this know what's going on. Like you can't hide what's going on.
No.
You're washing dollar bills, you know why they're being washed.
Mhm. Especially washing them with that type of reagent to strip it, as opposed to, you just happen to throw your pants in the washer and the bills are, I mean, they're a little faded, but they're not, they still dry up and they just, look used.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, you like her, you know that.
You like her.
Uh-huh.
That's sweet.
I want to sound like Sandra Bullock in Best Congeniality. You wanna date me? You think I'm cute?
Mhm.
Damn it, Walking says this show is also educational. We just learned two more big words. Yeah, somebody just rolled up. Obviously, not too much of a expert because they made a lot of noise.
Yeah, they weren't very stealth.
Nah.
Oh. Mhm.
You know he did.
Well, we
He
read him.
tried. He tried. The answer is yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what do you this is really remarkable. Okay. I'm gonna use this. And I like probably never, but I'm gonna try and remember this. Um mhm.
Wow.
This is
I would
remarkable.
never have thought about this.
I wouldn't have either. This is remarkable. You can do it, bruh. You can do it. You can do
You can
it.
do it. Come on. I'm like, I want to see you do it.
He's like, fuck this shit. I better run like a mofo.
Well, I can't
He
mess with my
couldn't do it.
glasses.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's
This is
like, look, just
hilarious.
don't bust me. I know we're in the no-tell motel.
That's right. Finley as the Kool-Aid man. That is exactly it. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Now that was very clever. And not that we'll ever get a chance to use it, but if we ever had to, now we know.
It's something to know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Smart. He shot the tires out.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
I think Finley improvised there.
I would have forgotten to do that.
I
They'd be
would
like,
have
"Did you
too.
shoot the tires out?" I'd be like,
Hmm.
no."
Damn it, Walker says he lost his glasses on the dive, but got him back in the next scene.
He probably has another pair in the glove compartment. No one knows
Yeah,
that.
he's like he got a spare.
Yeah, he's probably got clothes in his trunk as well. You know, like
Hmm.
some guys travel with a full thing, a full kit.
Hmm. Man, they just torched the house.
Damn. Oh, so it was, wow.
Yeah.
It was him.
He's like, okay.
So that was four. No, and four other guys. So that was five people. Whew. Okay.
More than one. Mm-hmm. Teach me a matter. There you go. A very, very specific detail.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a little hard. This is a little hard.
It's like, yes, ma'am, I did.
It's not the reason, but it sounds okay.
Yeah. It's
She
all
knows
like,
he's
okay.
lying. She knows
Mm-hmm.
that.
Start looking. Mm-hmm. It's hidden.
Cleaning the garage. Oh man.
Under several layers of stuff.
Well, looky here.
There you go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely. Now, if that doesn't send a message, I don't know what does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll load this up in the Bentley. You should have said,
In the
I'll load
Bentley.
this up in the Bentley.
Yeah. It's like, you
I
got
got
it.
enough
You
money
got
for
it.
the
Damn right
three of
we
us.
do. That's the kind of money you want to make snow angels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the guys who tried to kill them, right? Or was going to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Picard.
Mm.
Ah.
Damn. And it's
I'm.
over.
Dang. I just
Well,
wild guessed that. But it's
you
funny
know,
how it's like a wild guess, and you look and you got Picard's gun, see him right in the face.
you know,
Wow.
it's scary thought to think that Picard might be the person who was responsible for Reacher's brother getting killed. Like it's terrifying. And he did tell Finley, don't take this job, just stay out of Margrave,
Mm-hmm.
I just wow. That was a double cross, man. That was a hardcore double cross.
Because remember how we were talking? We said it's kind of strange that he would leave the Hubbles by themselves.
He was
That just didn't seem quite right.
he was hoping they get killed there. That's what he was hoping for, including Roscoe. He thought that the four of them would be killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he thought was going to happen. But Roscoe managed to outsmart those guys and, made his work a little bit harder. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's all out in the open. He's literally pulling a gun on them. I couldn't tell in the last scene. Okay. It's from the last scene, Reacher walks into that house
Mhm.
and Picard has a gun at Reacher. And the Kleiner boy, whose name I can't remember, has a gun on Finley. And I also see the mayor or chief of police, like self-appointed chief of police there.
Yeah, the self-appointed chief police, Colonel Sanders.
Yes. Um, but I don't see Roscoe. I wonder if she's there. Um,
That's interesting. So maybe she's
this
not there yet.
this feels like a real Serpico moment, doesn't it? Like when he's they're like, okay, everybody's corrupt at this point. And we were talking about how far up this goes.
Mhm. Just, no, we're not gonna make you hate KFC. Damn it,
No, not at
why?
all. No, no. KFC's great.
But he does look like Colonel Sanders. Just
Oh God.
kind of reminds me of it. But you're right. It's it's like they hinted at the corruption, but to actually have a person named that they've been working with over several episodes, now you find out that, you know, he's dirty. I mean, extremely, extremely dirty.
I mean, this is episode 7. What has it been, like 5 episodes that we've known this guy?
But he shows up like out of nowhere, like, hey, I'm here to help. Yeah, I'm keep I'm watching and
And he's been a friend of Finley's like forever, right? I mean,
mm-hmm.
he knew him before he took the job.
You knew
So,
him. He's the
damn.
one and Finley is the one that called him.
Yeah.
So how is Finley gonna feel finding out that somebody he thought that he could, that he could trust to trust with the lives of others? Now you got this going on.
I
Wow.
think Reacher also realizes that, since Neely came to the same conclusion about the partner and the
Mm,
close relationship, and realizing that he was this other partner to this other person who's dead, that something bad is going on. I think Neely knows on the phone. She
mm-hmm.
knows on the phone that
Yeah.
something is wrong. So, but it still is quite a scene to see guns pointed, hands raised, like in the okay, you got
Mm-hmm.
me. And although the Colonel Sanders guy doesn't have a gun on him, he doesn't quite look like he's in charge here. Like the scene, this setup looks very disjointed and very desperate, a very desperate
Yeah.
moment.
He looks like it's very much I'm just here. I'm just here waiting for orders, like a good lackey.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
And
we've ever seen him like hold a firearm at all through any of this.
he's got that stick with the diamond crystal on it next to him.
That's true. That's
I think,
true. And we really do seems like he's the one who went and went and killed Roscoe's stepdad pretty much for the most part.
I have to tell you, I've never seen a story where there have been this many deaths. So I have to say, I'm fine with it, but the body count is pretty high in this one, and
Oh yeah.
it really is very intense. This is now we know that this is going. We speculated that it went higher than the local
Mhm.
police. We speculated that it went high in the government. Now
Right.
I'm wondering exactly how high it did. Does this really go? It's this man does work for the FBI, right? Picard is an agent.
Yes, the FBI. So he's a federal agent. I mean, you would think that be able to trust the FBI, but then again, going back to oh my gosh, and I'm forgetting her name, um, the Secret Service agent who was unfortunately, murdered, where she was
Yes.
just like, "You mean to tell me we can't trust the Secret Service?" Like it was like, you mean to tell me that we can't trust the people that, that we work with who are supposedly above reproach? But it also goes back to how many cop shows have we seen where it's just like, you mean to tell me I can't trust my partner anymore? It's like that breach, it's like that breach of trust that makes for, first of all, makes for such good drama, because it's just like, if we can't trust you, who can you really trust?
And in the last time that we did a, watch the previous episode, we were talking about how Kleiner, and it seemed like Kleiner's operation was instrumental in terrorizing people to do what he wanted, like this, where he
Right.
brought that guy to wherever it was and pretty much nailed this other person to the wall in a threat to
Hmm.
make him know what was going to happen to him if he didn't comply. And I
Right.
had speculated that quite a lot of the, of the people who in this town were probably, quite terrorized into doing this. And some people probably just went along with it. They don't have any control over it. It's not like they could report it to the police, or even
Hmm.
to the FBI in this case. But this is almost, like going across the bounds of interstate commerce, I guess. This is an international thing, I think, from what we've seen.
Hmm.
And there's a lot at stake, and whoever is running this deal, um it seems like the people at the highest positions probably know about what's going on. It's really interesting to
Hmm.
see this, and it's terrifying that anybody could be eliminated just for even knowing about it.
Especially considering how they've been, eliminated in a very, very, very grisly, you know, fashion. Even watching this episode, I'm still, even when we see Kleiner's funeral, the first thing, I'm thinking is, wow, I wonder if the Undertaker was able to stitch his throat back up. I mean, it's thoughts like that. And can you imagine how it got out about exactly how he died and how he was found? It's just unnerving. And this small town, who, people dying from heart attacks, okay. People dying from, car accidents, yeah. People getting trampled, by livestock, okay, understand that. But people being killed like they were in a cartel, that's not something that these people are used to having affect their community. It's something that's, I see it on the news or I read it in the newspaper. I'm not expecting something like this, here. So obviously, like we were saying earlier, everyone's, people scared. People don't really know, what's going on, and they're looking as if, what's all Finley and Reacher's fault. Used to be just Reacher, now it's Reacher and Finley. You know.
And I think at this point, Lorena, that the townspeople know that it's not Finley or Reacher that's doing this.
Mhm.
I think that they are now well into the point of understanding that there is this illegal operation that's been in the town for a long time. That explains, suddenly Kleiner's extreme generosity to the town, and perhaps the behavior of a lot of the police in town
Mhm.
there. So, yeah, it is quite a thing. That we're seeing, and this culmination right here, realizing that, like I said, the idea that Picard might be the reason why, Reacher's brother was killed, it's really
Mhm.
disturbing. I mean, oh my goodness.
Like he could be staring at his brother's killer,
Hmm.
right right then and there. Oh, but speaking of dirty cops, okay, that conversation in the diner between Reacher and, I guess we'll call him the last cop standing, for the
The last
Margrave.
Captain Margrave.
What did you think of that scene?
Yeah, I thought that this dirty cop, was so foolish to believe Reacher at this point, especially after everything that's gone down. Because remember, Reacher has had multiple attempts made on his life.
Mhm.
So if he really did, he really think that these guys could take out Reacher? He knows that there's been a bunch of professional hits on Reacher already. So I think that he did this just to gain bonus points with the cartel and with who was there, not
Mm,
thinking that they would be able to kill Reacher. But this reinforces his position, if you will, in this
mhm.
hierarchy of madness.
It's like, "This'll get me in good with the mob bosses," you know?
I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work like that.
No. No, and it's interesting because watching him, because at first I'm kinda like, "Well, why are they together?" And just watching how that one cop reacted, it's kind of like, something seems a little off. I mean, I couldn't put my finger on it in the beginning, and just something just doesn't seems kinda off, and then when Reacher is like, "One of your partner, Stevenson, just died," and you don't seem very upset about it, and at first he kinda gives the rote answer, like, "There's really nothing I can do about it. Best thing we can do is find whoever did it," because he really doesn't it's not like Reacher's his best buddy or something like that, so it's not like he's gonna, you know, open up and vent all his feelings and start, sobbing into his peach pie, about it. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm kind of like, okay, that response kind of seems okay. But the more Reacher starts talking and the more that this cop's kind of like, yeah, of course I know. It's the whole thing. It seemed like everything that Reacher was saying, that this one cop is just like everything's all about him.
Right.
And that's when I kinda started to notice, I'm kinda like, "Well, that's a little weird," and then as soon as Reacher brings up Finley, because we had started talking about earlier that Finley and Reacher have gone from, like, a very antagonistic relationship now to a very symbiotic and protective relationship. So I'm kinda like, "Well, why the heck would Reacher point the finger at Finley? That doesn't quite make sense." But when the cop's like, "Yeah, I knew he was dirty." That he just swallows it hook, line, and sinker, and I'm like, "Okay, now I see where this is going." Reacher is totally doing a psyop on this cop, and he just falls for it, which isn't surprising.
Well, what's also interesting about this is the fact that he's almost the sole survivor now, isn't he?
Mhm, exactly.
Um,
The last cop in Margrave is
last
Finley
cop
got fired and
standing.
Roscoe got fired.
And Reacher made a point of saying, "You don't seem too sad about the fact that like the entire police force has been killed."
You would think
Um,
so, right?
yeah, yeah, I think that was a good point. He wasn't sad. That's why. And I think that he might be the most heartless person in the bunch. While it's true that Colonel Sanders dude has questionable morals,
Mhm,
this police officer, he took an oath to protect and to serve people. So I think he has
right.
a different type of responsibility to the public versus this other guy who just be a corrupt politician. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean that he wants anybody dead. But to be a police officer and be in this position, it's astonishing. That poor couple.
That what we have seen some grisly scenes, but this one was very, very different
Well,
from
they
the
said
others.
they said that they wanted him lucid and they wanted to torture his wife in front of him, and that was just heartbreaking.
Especially given what we know before Reacher pulls out the picture with the ultrasound. I thought that that was actually a very brilliant, point of visual storytelling where we were told that, but it didn't quite seem it's kind of like, "Oh, okay, great," they're expecting a baby, and then you see, you know, the white Tyvek suits going in, and you're just like, nobody's getting out of that house alive, and there's an innocent life there that is not gonna make it. So, when the cops show up at Stevenson's house, it's like we're prepared, we don't know how bad it's gonna be, and then when we see the method is to extract information, and that Stevenson's forced to watch his pregnant wife basically tortured to death. It's like we, the audience, we're already, just like, oh my God, this is messed up. This is messed up, until Reacher finds out exactly how messed up. We're kind of like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Finley delivers one of my favorite lines in the story to the guy who I'm going to call Foghorn Leghorn, according to Dad Manual.
I like Foghorn Leghorn.
He tells him, after Foghorn Leghorn tells him, "Well, I'm firing you," and he goes, "You're firing me? This town is as crooked as scoliosis." I have never heard that line before.
That one, you know what? I really have to give kudos to the writers for doing that, because they changed it. I've noticed like little things that they changed. Like when one of the professors tells Reacher they have that place locked down tighter than Fort Knox, and then Reacher says, "Oh yeah, they have it locked down tighter than Sing Sing." Listen, so it's like these little things, and then Finley says this town is more crooked than Scoliosis. It's like that, just that dark humor. That's why I joked that I said, Colonel Sanders probably doesn't even know what that word is. He probably did a Google search
No,
on it
he doesn't know it's scoliosis.
to
He has
find it
no
later
idea.
on. But
What's
I
that?
just I
Find
just
out
love
what
this.
that
I
means.
know, you go look it up, find out what it is. But I think it's so cool that he like called that out like that. I think he had suspected but didn't really know. But all of these events have pretty much shown just how crooked and complicit they all are. And now these fires, like, hey, I can just be completely blunt with you. It's kind of like when some people get fired, they're like, okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I really think because I don't have anything to lose right now. You know,
Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah.
uh,
And he still didn't get the peach pie. Like that last
no.
bit, that's not very like he should have given him the pie and said, "Why don't you take it? I've had the peach pie before. It's really good. Maybe you should have it because you haven't had it before or whatever."
Mhm.
I don't think he knew that he didn't have it before, but
Yeah, I don't think he did either. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I want to say, like a running gag in a way that's kind of that gives like another dimension to having us identify with the character a little bit. It's like he didn't even get a chance to eat the peach pie in the first episode because the cops rolled up. Like literally, it was like right there. Then he had to watch this dude eat it in front in
oh
front of him.
man, that was
You
like
know,
torture. Even I felt sorry for him, and I'm like, yeah, a piece of peach pie sounds really good right about now.
and the waitress just had no sympathy at all.
Yeah, we're all out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're all out to keep selling out. This is great. No, can I offer? Well, no, this is the South, so they're not going to go with apple pie. Could have said, "You want some pecan pie? We can get you some of
Definitely some
that."
pecan pie.
But they're like, "No, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it." I just think that is just one of the funniest. I like that kind of like that running gag, kind of like with Finley saying that, what cursing is the sign of a debased mind or something like that. And he finally just throws it out the window and starts cussing.
And Finley surprised me. Like I just love that they decided to have him ask Reacher, "What the hell did I get out of this?" Like he's like, "Your car's not parked out in the front, is it?" And it's like, no. He's
And
like, "What
didn't
kind
we know he did? We didn't even have to, we
He should
didn't even have to
disappear
look
and go
outside.
right
We already
outside the
knew.
room. I don't know what to do."
Yeah, he parked his car outside. That was just a genius scene. I didn't picture him getting out of
No,
that way.
no, this was if you had to get out of a burning building, I guess, or something, and no one
Mhm.
thinks like this. Like I wouldn't even think to do that. But he's like, "Oh yeah, it's an old motel, hotel, hour rate kind of place. Oh, take whatever kind of metal they have in there and just bank it. I was like, what? And then the Kool-Aid man thing, I have to say, that was actually pretty cool to see. That was pretty
That that was cool, and I bet you Lee Childs was like, "You know what? I've always wanted to come through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. How can I write this in there?" And it worked perfectly. I didn't see it coming, and then as soon as Reacher's like, "You ever see the Kool-Aid commercial?" I think that's what he said. And in the back of your mind, you're like, "Yes, he's gonna run the wall. He's gonna run the wall."
and you just knew there had to be a couple in bed. There just had to be, a couple in there. Like
Isn't that always the trope? Like, didn't they do that in why am I thinking they did that in Lethal Weapon?
maybe they did, or Predator, or one of those
One
like
of
80s
those where if you
style.
crash into somebody, through your hotel room or something like that, or from one floor down to the other, it's usually some couple in bed.
Absolutely. Uh, is it Darth Megatron says, I like lemon meringue and blueberry pie the best. Um, I love a good lemon meringue, but I also like a key lime. That's why when you did that, you're
Oh
on
God,
your
yes.
station, I was like, oh, key lime pie. Oh my gosh, where can I find key lime pie right now? Nowhere. How am I going to get some key lime pie?
That's why I always have key lime juice like in my house. Because when I lived in Philly, it's like that's what I would do. It's like I go to Wegmans and they had like the one that like now you down here you can get like I don't know how many versions of key lime, but I'm like, okay, I got this key lime juice. It's mine. I'm gonna take it home and make my own key lime
Mm.
pie.
What kind of pie do you like, Lorena?
Let's see. I like coconut cream pie. I
Mm.
like key lime pie, and I like apple pie. However, specifically Dutch apple pie
Ooh.
because it has that like sweet crumbly thing on the outside, and it's just so fancy.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
It's so good. It's like apple pie with like a layer of
Yeah.
like brown sugar and stuff, like the kind of stuff that you put on. I call it stuff, kind of thing that you put like on top of a coffee cake. You put it on top of that, and I used to call it
Mm.
Dutch apple
Yeah,
pie.
that's
It's like
that's delicious. That's so
deep
delicious.
dish, so 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 tasty. But not a fan of peach pie though.
Well, it depends on how it's made. I mean, I know sometimes people will substitute peaches for apples, and they'll mix the two together. Like they'll mix slices of apple, slices of peach, and it gives it a different twist. So
Really.
I'm open to it. I'm open to pie in general.
I'd try it. My whole thing is I don't know. It's like I would have peach pie and people are like, "Oh, you have to try peach cobbler." It's like I wouldn't send it back if someone
Yeah,
gave it to me,
yeah,
but never quite was like my
yeah.
first choice when it
I
when
do
it
like
comes
a
to pie.
warm peach cobbler with like a scoop of ice cream or something like
Oh,
that.
well, yeah,
That
see, that's
is,
different.
that,
That's different. That
yeah.
that sounds that sounds good. Yeah, for me, it's just like peach pie. It's one of those where it's like, I wouldn't turn it away if I got it, but it's like not quite, the first one probably that I would order. It's just weird. Although, like my family, they love peach cobbler. I mean, I'd make it for people, but it's just one of those where it's just like it's for me personally. It's like I just like wouldn't eat it. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, shame on me. Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie is delicious. I've been
That's
trying the Patty LaBelle, the Walmart one.
hmm
It's delicious. I love it. And
It's good.
my aunt makes a very good sweet potato pie as well.
Oh, I love sweet potato pie with like a cup of coffee and sweet potato
Mhm.
pie with like a dollop of whipped cream on it. But I would make
Absolutely.
like like crushed pecans and like brown
Ooh.
sugar and cinnamon I put on top of
Oh,
the sweet potato pie. Oh my god, I freaking love that.
that
It's so
sounds
good.
delicious.
It's good stuff. Okay, now I'm really hungry. Now I'm really hungry. Damn man walking says funny. Someone just dropped off peach cobbler to us and we have ice cream too. Oh,
That's
nice.
lucky
That
you.
sounds good.
Ooh,
My favorite is anything chocolate.
okay.
French silk chocolate pie.
Mm,
That's
that is
good.
excellent.
That's a delicious pie. But this is
Mhm,
Georgia, so I guess it's by law they have to serve you peach pie.
mhm.
So hopefully Reacher is going to eventually get his slice of peach pie because what there's like one episode left.
Right. I can't believe it.
Wow. I mean, it's just like it's like what it's like if you had to make a prediction, what would you think is going to happen in the last episode?
I definitely am going to say that Neely, using her instincts and her incredible investigative skills,
Hmm.
is going to make an appearance in the next episode.
I can see that. I would be kind of disappointed if she didn't. You know what I mean? I really would. I could see that. Hopefully they will, because I really do like her character. It's just interesting seeing her and Reacher interact. Some
It
people probably
really
say
is.
interact really well the way that they do. That's what makes it so funny.
Well, they are conducting a legitimate investigation and they're taking it seriously. And this isn't, it isn't small talk to them. This is every detail is very important. And,
Exactly.
like when he says, I only have the initials, and she says, that's all I need. And I'm like, what? That's not enough information. It is for her.
Mm-hmm. This is the caliber of person, that we're dealing with when it
And
comes to Neely.
Dad Man Walking has made another about seriously though. That is very kind of you for
Oh, yes,
saying
thank
that.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Seriously, though, you've both done a great job of reviewing this show, and it's been a
Thank
lot of
you.
fun chatting about it.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that you enjoy it. It's interesting how word of mouth has spread about this show with just people talking about it. So I'm so glad you enjoy us here talking about because we're having a great time.
We are.
Hopefully convince some of you folks to actually like sit and watch the episodes, all the way through.
We've gotten 2 shower scenes.
Yes. Oh my god, and they've both been very, very nice
They've been very,
showers.
very nice. In fact, the scene where he's actually changing out of the clothes that he used to,
Mhm.
when the people came in the white suit, where he changed out of those, and that was also kind of a nice scene. But yeah, it's,
Yeah, showers really, really nice, really nice. I think we've had like what, four ab shots, five ab
gotta
shots.
stay clean.
It's a lot of yes, yes, you have to. Nothing like a nice clean dude for a shot shower.
Mhm, mhm.
It's saying, "You making me hungry, Darth Megatron." I
I
also like
know, I
a good lava
love
cake with
this.
ice
That
cream.
is delicious too.
Oh my god. Whew.
Yeah.
Man, that does make me hungry. Ah, it sure enough does. I know for the last episode, I want to find out exactly how freaking dirty Picard is. Cause for me, I just find it unconscionable that he left this woman and her two little girls pretty much exposed to danger. Like, oh yeah, I'll be right back. And that just didn't sit right with me. Now to find out that this guy is dirty, not incompetent, but just dirty, makes it like even worse. So it's just kind of like how far or how tangled up in this is he? And how is Finley gonna handle it when he finds out, exactly what this dude has been up to?
Yeah, this is a good question. And I think that between Finley and Reacher and Roscoe, being in Margrave at this very moment.
Mhm.
This was Picard's worst nightmare. And I think that he thought he had handled everything when he um, put them sort of in the safe house and then left. He thought everything would be handled once he left. And he wasn't expecting Roscoe to kind of be able to save them. And so that meant,
Mhm.
of course, that he himself would have to more or less think about committing these murders. So it is
Right.
very grisly and startling to think that he and this operation would go so far as to do that. But yeah,
Mhm.
he is really dangerous person, as dangerous as the Kleiners. Maybe I'm starting to think that maybe I don't really know how deep the Kleiners are in, or like how this whole thing is working out, but
Mhm.
the level of involvement is definitely very high for Picard. He didn't just think about this yesterday. This is something that he's been involved with probably for a long time, and he's not going
Mhm.
to let them. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure that they don't mess up things for him, and
Right.
that is very scary.
Man, that, and especially KJ. I want to know what's up with this dude, okay? Because he's the only Kleiner left. So if his dad's dead, and now his brother's taking a nap in the pool, for lack of a better term, what's his deal? And
Yeah, this is something that also makes me wonder. I mean, what is he up to? And, was he the one, that perhaps, maybe the father was a corrupt businessman, and
mhm,
then he used the fact that his father is corrupt as a way to handle the operation somehow, like, and brought his father into this in a different way. Um,
mm,
I don't really know. I mean, between the father and the son, we saw some pretty nasty things from the father in the previous episode.
yeah,
And then we've seen some pretty nasty things from the son. They're all really, really bad guys. These guys are dangerous. They're criminals. They're ruthless.
mhm.
Just the whole thing is just man, they are really awful. Um, yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen.
uh but you gotta love it though. It's just like I have to find out what happens, because that's like the hallmark of a really good show, when they leave you on a cliffhanger and just like, I have to find out what happens. Like, I need to find out. I need closure. Pretty much. It's like I need to find out, what happens, because if we didn't care about these characters, even to find out, even for, your villains, just to see, are the villains going to get, what's coming to them. Good writing is what makes you have those feelings, have those emotional attachments, whether it's the ones that you want to survive, or the ones that, you hope don't, and add to Reacher's body count. It feels really good to actually have a show, like this, where you're looking forward to, the next episode, as opposed to, yeah, all right, found Hamilton's better to do. I guess I'll go and I'll go watch it. But also to ask you, since you've read so many of the books, right? With the last episode left, does it really feel like the books, like coming to life when you watch those?
Well, I've listened to one audiobook which deals with this season, the very first Lee Child book, and it does. There are some subtle differences, but for an
Mhm,
adaptation from a book that was written over 20 years ago, to make it
mhm,
feel like it was, this entire thing happened yesterday, I think they've just done such a smashing job in bringing everything to light into life. But one of the biggest and most important things is that Alan Richson is playing the lead character, and he
mm,
has really brought this story to life. If we didn't have him in this role, I can't say that other actors wouldn't be appropriate, but he
mhm,
essentially has defined the character for me. Like, this is the Reacher character. This is him. You know.
right.
So I think that, after listening to the book, and one thing that I noticed about the book, the book that I have is I don't remember who the narrator is, but
Mhm.
in his mind, he has a very, somewhat a calm, very methodical way of thinking. And
Mhm.
although it may not necessarily be apparent here because he doesn't have any scenes, there are no scenes where he goes, oh, in his mind, oh, I see a whole bunch of cops coming up. Well, the first thing I have to do is make sure I remain calm. We don't have that. We don't have that inner narration. But you can tell
Mm.
by his acting that that's what
Mhm.
he's thinking. Just
Yeah.
stay still, don't move, put your hands up.
You said movements.
Right. And you can tell this is what he's thinking, but in the book he narrates that because it's from his point of view.
Mhm.
So I think that that's very interesting too, and it wasn't easy to convey that necessarily in a live action version from something that was written over 20 years ago. And I think
Right.
that the character, the actor has done such a splendid job. Thank you, Alan Richardson, for
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that.
Between that and also props to whoever the director of cinematography is too,
Yes.
as
And thank you,
well.
Skydance.
Yes,
As you pointed out.
definitely, definitely thank you, Skydance, for putting this out here because
Mhm.
it's delicious, let me just tell you.
Mhm.
Damn It Walking says it's the first TV show that I have binge watched since the early Walking Dead. Really an addictive show, but in this case, the limited number of episodes keeps it from going on too many tangents. Yeah, yeah, I agree. And yeah, I watched The Walking Dead early on
Oh
until
yeah.
Negan, and then I said, okay, I think I'm done. I think this is a great place for me to kind of bow out. And from what I was told, that was probably the best
Yeah.
thing to do. Kind of like how I should have stopped at season 4 with Game of Thrones, but I had to see how it ended. Oh man. Well, we have one more episode left.
I know.
And wow. It's it's gonna be awesome. I'm glad and sad at the same at the same time, but I cannot wait to see how our expectations will be subverted. I think in a good way. If they wrap this up like a lot of good mysteries, it's not who we're expecting. Definitely not who we're expecting.
No, and they've just done such a good job of presenting that to us, and there's been a lot of nice twists and turns, and it just really has been so enjoyable to watch it from moment to moment, even with
Mhm.
the death count, even with the body
I
count.
know, we're just like, "Ding!" Another one. Ding. It's almost like that first person shooter game where you're racking up kills and kills.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
kinda what this is like, and I love it.
I love it too. And, just really a wonderful show. We know we're going to get a season 2, which I can't wait for. This is really something special right
It's
now. This
gonna
is
be
really something special.
awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. I so cannot wait. So thank you, all of you out there watching on
Yes.
Twitch. We so do appreciate you being here. Please do follow the both of us here on Twitch. I'm Reina Creole on Twitch. It's actually Positive Fandom here
Mhm.
on Twitch. So please do go and follow the both of us. So to kind of wrap things up, do you want to let the people know where they can find you on the various platforms and what you have coming up?
Yes. Tomorrow, actually, later tonight at 9:15, I'm going to be on Uncivilized Scoundrels on the 1/6 Scale Man Network,
All
talking
right.
about Star Wars, all the good old Star Wars news. So definitely join us there tonight.
Mhm.
Tomorrow afternoon at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on Midnight's Edge in the Morning with Tom and Andre and Camran Pasha. So do please check that out. I have some episodes dropping on the Burn Network, PGS
Ooh.
reviews about the Oscars. So if you guys are interested in Oscar predictions and previews, I'm doing some shows that pre-recorded with the Cinemike, who is a PGS member, with the PGS, the Post Geek Singularity at the Burn Network. So
Mm-hmm.
please go ahead and go there and check out those videos. You're going to learn a lot about some of these movies that are coming up. This is a very different Oscars this year. Hopefully, we're going to get some entertainment. It's going to be spicy, or it's going to be fun. It's got to be an improvement over last year. So,
Oh, I
so
sure
that's
hope
coming
so.
up. Absolutely. But Lorena, you and I have a huge event coming up.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes.
We are going to be reviewing season 2 of one of the most watched dramas in history, Bridgerton. It premieres
Yes.
tomorrow, and I'm going to be reviewing the first few episodes on my channel, Positive Fandom, on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Lorena will be reviewing the remaining episodes at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday on her channel. Guys, this is going to be incredible. This is one of the most watched dramas in
Uh,
history. The ratings were through the roof. Guys,
mm-hmm.
please show up to this Bridgerton special. It's going to be very, very, just wonderful. Bridgerton season 1 was incredible. I can't wait to see what they're doing with season 2, Lorena.
I cannot wait. I mean, the first season, I can't believe how many times I've watched it. So I'm so excited. We're going to be basically doing a live watch party and review at the same time. First half of the episodes, I'll be on our channel. Second half of the episodes on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, will be on my channel. So
Mm-hmm.
remember, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on her channel, and
Mm-hmm.
then 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, definitely, definitely watch out for that. It's going to be absolutely, absolutely, absolutely amazing. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so
And
excited.
on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m., you can always find me live on my Sunday brunch show where we do the parlay, the Positive Fandom parlay for everything that's going on in the fandom. So that's what I have. And of course, Mondays, you and I will also be on Toxic Femmes. So
Exactly.
that's what I have coming up. I can't wait for
Exactly.
tomorrow, Lorena. I'm so
Oh,
excited for this.
tomorrow's gonna be awesome. Tomorrow's gonna be so, so awesome. I can't wait for that. Also, tomorrow at 12 noon, of course, is the lunch table show over on my channel. I'll be co-hosting with Fat Steven Seagal. We're gonna be going over just a couple of pop culture topics from the week. Definitely am going to be going over with you guys the departure of lots of Pixar directors who have directed a lot of really great Pixar films. Well, they have flown the coop to Skydance Animation. And this is a big deal. You guys have heard me talking about it repeatedly. Well, basically, they've completed the trifecta of getting Pixar directors over to Skydance. So we're going to be talking about that on Friday, along with some other pop culture topics. And Saturday, of course, I'm going to be streaming live from Galaxy's Edge at Disney World over at Hollywood Studios. We're going to take some time kind of walking around Galaxy's Edge, answering you guys questions, just taking things in, doing some window shopping, just kind of hanging out in that area for the day. Let's see. And also Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Of course, your girl has the Welcome to Florida show on my channel, which I will also be streaming live here to Twitch as well. Spring break in Florida. It's gonna be interesting as always.
I heard that they're already putting in a curfew, Lorena.
Oh yeah, Miami Beach. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I don't think anybody's really going to be paying attention to it like every year, but we love hearing the stories that come out. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if it will be. My plan is not to really get into that line. Your girl's probably going to check out Smuggler's Run because there's a single rider line. So probably gonna wind up doing that. So anyway, first, thank you guys again so much for hanging out with us here on Twitch. Both of us are trying to get to affiliate level, so please do follow us, watch our streams, tell people to come back and watch it, and of course, you can follow us here, subscribe to us on YouTube, and also follow us over on Twitter. So, with that said, folks, we will see you next time. Season 1 finale of Reacher. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.